So Renee, just so you know, we'll be going live across LinkedIn and Facebook. And Jacob, those are the two platforms we'll be going across. And we're now streaming live. Folks, welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange Bell's Corners edition. This fine Monday morning, a little damp outside and going to be a little bit warmer, but hey, that is okay. That makes for summer weather. So I'm going to share my screen and kind of go over the website. Tony's coming back today from his road trip, and so I'm sure he's going to be as quirky and spriteful as ever. No, I suspect he's got a bit of jet lag on the go. And so here we go. We're going to share the screen, and we will start off with the Phoenix website. So if you are looking in from the outside world, our website is www.pbex.ca. And you're more than welcome to join us if you're starting out as a business or you're looking to grow your business. Come on in. We'll be more than glad to have a chat with you. And so that's what the website looks like. It has a series of things. The member of the week has not been updated. That's Tony's piece, but it's still Wendy. It's still Wendy Chung. And so, check her out. If you're looking for a residential realtor, there she is for the Wednesday group. However, we do have one in-house today, and that's Lana, and we'll get into Lana in a second about that story. If you're looking to join us on Zoom, just click any of these red buttons here. Monday morning, click this one. Wednesday morning, we also meet 8 to 9, and also Thursday. Also to be updated is the Tuesday after hours event. It's from 7 to 8, and that's led by Penny Lee. East Trade Winds, we meet every Tuesday from 8 to 9. We will be taking a summer hiatus come July and ending in August and starting back up in September. Tony's got a meditation session that it's running, and you will find that available on Fridays at 1:30 p.m. for you to attend. Penny Lee's got the Healing Nia class, Moving to Heal. And the idea behind that is just to get your body moving. So if you've sat too long or you need a little more exercise, that's the place to go. East End meeting, that's still to be determined. And we have the QR directory for all members. So if you notice the QR code over my shoulder, that information is available so you can find anybody in our group. So if you're looking for an accountant, Eric, looking for Lana, realtor, there you go. If you're looking for a dash cam, Sam, other than he's here on scene, there you go. And what's been happening? We've done over $84,000, $84,500 in referrals year to date. We have about $4.6 million in business between members since 2016. So that's business where each member is connecting with another member and generating business in that route. The e-cards, that's again back to the QR code. Year-to-date number, 4,563 people have clicked on the e-card. Why is that useful? Well, you share your information fast, quick, and it is effortless for the person who you're trying to reach out to, your client, your prospect. They get to see your contact information. They can contact you. They can email you, text you, whatever you've set up for. And if you have any video links, it's all there. It's all packaged in one box. I'm going to stop that share. And because now we're going to go to Mike couldn't make it today. And so we are going to share his video or his conversation from last week. And it is going to take a little bit longer than the standard 3-minute piece. And I'm going to hit the share button. And we should be going. And it's whirling around. Sorry.
I want to talk to you today a little bit about marketing and specifically about the Phoenix group. And as we know, Tony, our leader, is relentless in the last years of always trying to better the network, better the membership. And it's because he cares and loves each member. He just gives so much. It's just incredible. In the 30 years of networking that I've been belonged to in different clubs or whatever, I've never seen a leader like that care so much about his membership and learn all about the technologies like the QR codes and e-cards and what have you, and just continue to support us. I sent everybody an email in this group talking about Tony and what I just said, and basically the respect and how to reciprocate back to that man. We hold a golf tournament every year, and this year it's going to be Thursday, August the 1st, out at the Canadian. What's nice about this golf tournament, it's 9 holes, and it's lots of fun, especially for those people that have never golfed before or are scared to golf. I'm going to put you at ease there. But back to the marketing part of it, we have a glorious opportunity, and I'm going to share the screen here. So what you're looking at is what's called the Make-A-Wish Advent Calendar. It's situated on 87 George Street, where the CTV building is. It's huge. You can see that it's the size of the building from top to bottom. And in that Advent calendar, there's 24 days, and there are sponsors that sponsor each day. These are what are called adopt-a-wishes. That's where a Make-A-Wish child that has life-threatening or terminal illness receives their wish. And that day, that specific day, whether it's December the 4th or December the 12th, when that day comes, it's revealed what that wish is from what the sponsor brought in. The sponsors of the day, they get acknowledgement on CTV in the morning show. They get it on the after the lunchtime show on CTV, and they're also announced at the 5 o'clock and the 6 o'clock news broadcasts on CTV, and also Patricia Bull on the radio, CFRA. She also mentions the sponsor of the day and what the wish is. What happens is you would be watching TV, and all of a sudden we're ready to do our wish reveal on the Advent calendar. It's December 4th. Today's sponsor is XYZ. Thank you to them. And then like an Advent calendar, it gets peeled back and you get to see what that wish is. So these adopt-a-wishes, they're $10,000 a door. With the partnership with the Phoenix and the Playing It Forward for Wishes, which I started in 2014, where we raise monies in the community, a bulk of it goes to Make-A-Wish. We're honored to have 3 doors a year that we had sponsors to be able to fill them up and give those sponsors the recognition. What's nice about the recognition too is they really do a good job. They email the sponsor that what the wish is, and then that way around Christmas time you share that wish with your clients and customers and just let them know how much you care about the community. Our goal, or my goal, or our collective goal, I should say, is to get the Phoenix logo on this calendar. If there is the minimum of 4 sponsors, that would be $2,500 each, and they all get recognition. If it goes to a $5,000 level, if we happen to reach $5,000, then the Phoenix logo is shared with another company. And if we're fortunate enough to reach the $10,000 level that day, will just be for Phoenix. This calendar goes up at the last couple of weeks of November, so it sits there, a lot of traffic in the market, as you can imagine, on George Street, going back and forth or what have you. So great visibility for Phoenix, and I think is just a beautiful way to put the icing on the cake to show Tony the respect that we have for him for everything that he does for us. So what we're looking for is we're looking for sponsors and we're looking for golfers. And as far as the sponsors goes, I'm proud to announce that Norm Boyer stepped up to the plate as a sponsor. He's $1,000 sponsor. And what he gets from that, he gets a ton of recognition with Playing It Forward for Wishes and the Phoenix for the 3 events that we have during the year. Some of you folks, like Wendy, has always sponsored Playing It Forward for Wishes in the past years with nice wish signs at our events that we have. So Norm gets all that. He gets his logo on our website for 1 calendar year, which when somebody cruises through that and clicks on it, hyperlinks back to his website. He'll be one of the ones that will be sharing in the wish story that when we reach at least the minimum of the $2,500 mark. Put your thinking caps on. This is great marketing for you. It's a way to really show Tony respect and great marketing for the Phoenix Networking Club. And also to, at the end of the day, a child somewhere, and I was the CEO for Make-A-Wish for 17 years. Believe me, when we call the child and say that your number 1 wish is going to be revealed, it gives them so much excitement because it gives them something positive to look forward to, that their wish is going to be delivered to them, and gives them so much to look forward to. Instead of hospitals and treatments and on, we can just imagine what those families must go through. It's a great break for a family too, because the number 1 wish is Disney World. The whole family goes for a week. They want for nothing. They get spending money. They got the best accommodations, they get all the fast passes, they get everything. It's a beautiful, magical wish. And there are many other types of wishes that children that can travel, and we can do that. We can show Tony respect. We can get used to marketing. We can get Tony Phoenix's top end marketing. This is the enchilada as far as what I've seen in my past in the fundraising business. And we're going to make a difference in a child's life. So keep that in mind. I will follow up with everybody. It's as simple as just, hey, Mike, I'm interested. Let's have a conversation. And I'll show you what all the details are so that you understand. And let's make the magic happen.
Reach out to Mike and have a business activity meeting with him to learn more.
Right, folks. And so I'm just going to put in the chat the link to the golf tournament. So just also to add to that, Steve Breckenmeyer has donated $500 to the event, to the charity. Eric Perron has sponsored the longest drive. Ema is doing the photography as a sponsor, and Taste So Sweet is also doing some food at the event. So that's kind of the other pieces or other elements in the show. Now we're going to do the round robin of, hey, what's been going on in our week? What referrals? What bands have we got? And you know what? We're going to start off with Lana and then Eric. Lana, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lana Burnley, the residential realtor, just like Wendy, of the group. And I had wonderful, I don't know what you call it, but Sam installed the front and rear dash cam for me last week. I'm very excited. Unfortunately, the rear, there you go. Hello. Unfortunately, the rear one is now dangling. So I just drive too much. I think that's my problem. Being a realtor, where in the world is Lana? I've been everywhere this past week. But I want to remind everybody that when you go to sell your house, make sure you have your financials in order, because your mortgage is going to cost you money to, what do you call it, discharge, to close off, to move, to port, to whatever. And, or just to, if you are closing off your mortgage or selling your house before your mortgage is due, it's going to cost you a lot of money. And I have just discovered that I've got some clients who didn't look into this properly, and they're owing their bank about $10,000 more than they thought they would because of their mortgage. So yeah, look after your mortgage and look after all of your finances. And that means talk to your mortgage broker, talk to your lawyer, talk to your lawyer and your mortgage broker are the two most important. And everybody else, I'm going to cost money too, but it's going to be worth your bottom dollar. So there you go. Lana Burnley, residential realtor, and I've been in the business for 24 years, and I have not seen it all yet.
Lana, thank you so much. And over to Eric and then Sam.
Good morning. It's not that nice to be back from holidays, to tell you the truth. I could have taken another 2 or 3 weeks, but here I am. Strangely enough, my in basket is twice as big as it was when I left, which is physically impossible. How did that happen? So we are accountants and management consultants. We're located in Canada. We do taxes. We do taxes for individuals that are complicated. We don't get anybody coming through the door that is easy, even if it looks easy. Like we got one Friday that came in through the door with a T4 and a T5, right? That's easy. You can buy a program and do it. Then there's a letter from the government trying to sue them for $250,000. That's not easy. So sometimes you have to wonder what easy means and what easy doesn't mean. Most of the time, we don't do that kind of work. We do corporations and financial statements and year ends and that kind of stuff. We can be reached on the phone at 613-254-7310. We can be reached in other ways, and all of that is on the chat line. I'd like to say that it's nice to be back, but I don't like to lie.
Any referrals or business activity meetings, Ben?
Yes, I've done Phoenix's year end. Next week I'm seeing Dwight, who is a member of this group, and that was booked while I was on holiday. So I just found out that I'm seeing him next week. So that's what's going on.
Eric, thank you so much. Sam, and then we'll go over to you, Renee. Sam, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturris, ConnectedCars.ca. Just put my contact information in the chat. Well, as Lanny mentioned, I do dash cameras. There's a similar model to the one that I installed in Lana's vehicle last week. Looks like the rear camera, the sticker managed to come off. That's a pretty rare thing, but it does happen. Last time it happened was about 5 years ago when I installed one in the middle of winter. But hey, who knows where Lana's been? So we're going to get that fixed up later today for her. Besides that, I wanted to talk about brake squealing. I hear that often when I'm just working out in my garage. Now I have the door open, and I hear vehicles going by, and people put their brake on, and hear this nasty squealing or scraping or something. Definitely a brake issue when that happens. Or if you're driving and you put your brakes on and the steering wheel starts to shake, yeah, that's a sign of warped rotors. So if you have anything like that, come see me. I don't charge for estimates, and I can fix you up for a brake issue. Things going on. Well, Lana mentioned coming to me last week, and Steve Breckenmeyer talked to me about doing a car cleaning, a car detailing for him and his vehicle. That's it for me. Sam Sturris, ConnectedCars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of a vehicle, and a heck of a lot more.
Sam, thank you so much. Renee, welcome, and just unmute yourself and then introduce yourself and tell us about your business. What do you do?
Yes, hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Renee from Norton. I work with Phone Life. Well, sorry, earlier I was struggling with Zoom. I haven't been on Zoom since the pandemic, and I was just trying to manipulate how to get into the audio mode. I think so. I was like, "Where is on mute?" But I couldn't find on mute. I think I had to connect to select audio or something. Yes. So what we do is we run an online marketplace platform for people that want to sell things online. If you have, somebody that's selling things locally and so on, we help them to sell online, and we help to market their products so they sell. So that, in a nutshell, is what we do. And basically, what we do is similar to what Amazon is doing, even though we are a much smaller player. But what we try to do is that we help sellers or vendors that want to sell online, and they get to sell on our platform without any fee. So that helps them to make more money compared to, say, if they were selling on Amazon or Shopify, they get charged more. And actually, I got to know Phoenix through Miss Jacqueline, and she was pretty much a customer. So she came and bought. But we sell one of the main product that we call is selling tires and rims. And Miss Jacqueline, I think we had a sign somewhere in by Raven, and she saw one of our signs, and she called in, and then she bought tires, and then she told me, and then she told me, oh, they have a Phoenix group. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna stop by to check it out, and that was how I came to the Bell's Corner. I actually wanted to go to the Wednesday, but for whatever reason, I was struggling to find. I think somehow the message exchange between me and Jacqueline somehow got mixed up, and I couldn't find the website. Then when I found it, it was already like 7:45, and I didn't want to go late. So I think I know you have a chapter in Orleans, pretty much close to me, around the St. Laurent area. So I'll definitely check that tomorrow. But I'm very happy. I like what you guys are doing. It's really amazing, and I'm enjoying it so far. So that's why I'm back. Thank you very much. So that's all I've got to say.
Renee, thank you so much. Just as a quick sidebar, I'm going to post in the a link to the LinkedIn live post, so you can post content therein. So you can, and Renee and Jacob, you're both welcome to post information in that space. And you know what? Speaking of Jacob, I'm going to let Jacob introduce himself. He's our presenter today. He's our guest from out in British Columbia. So right now he's at 5:22 in the morning. So folks, welcome Jacob, and sir, over to you.
Thanks, Bernie. Thanks everybody for having me here. My name is Jacob McGill. I'm the founder of actually a couple companies, but today we're here to talk about 8020.media. We have a first principle, which is that I will only help you do more of the work that you love, and everything else we will automate, delegate, and systematize for you. That being said, most people don't understand that it is incredibly important to know your customer journey, because that should dictate every single platform build out there. I come across so many people who are trying to twist themselves into a box rather than building it around them so that you can do your best work. So that's really the work that we specialize in, or the zone of genius that I have. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about other stuff today, but just so you know, this isn't a chore for me. I get up this early quite often, honestly, because I'm still trying to get to my 60th ski day this year, and that requires getting up earlier and earlier, driving longer and longer, ascending higher and higher to get into where the snow is, into the mountains. And yeah, it's a normal thing for me, and I'm really happy to be up this early and with you guys. Thank you.
Okay, and so if you want to do the presentation, sir, go right ahead.
Yeah, since it's a smaller group today, like how can I benefit everybody the most? Like, would you like to walk through a case study or do an overview, or?
I think a quick overview and then into a case study. Basically, whether you're a coach or whether you're looking to generate more sales leads.
Yep.
And just as for folks, so you understand, he uses Go High Level as the supporting platform to help deliver the information. But in that space, that platform, and you know what? I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to take away the thunder. That's not my job.
Yep.
Over to you, Jacob.
How many minutes do you want me to roll for?
You've got about 25.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay. So 25 is a long time. And so I'm going to dig in deep, and then I'm going to pause twice for Q&A. First off, the customer journey dictates the platform build. Like, what does that mean? Well, most importantly, what it means is that there are a certain amount of customers that every single software subscription relies on to do business. And those are the people who buy and sit idly with their credit card, paying a membership and never do anything with it. One of the things that I'm gamifying is I'm hoping eventually that software platforms are going to become transparent and publish the amount of idle accounts that they actually have, because I've found this consistent with every single client I've worked with over the last 5 years that I've been doing the back-end support and the technological support. When I first started my company 11 years ago, we did social media management, okay? And we solved the first of the 5 business problems that all businesses have, because you need leads or traffic, and then you need conversion, then you need sales, and then onboarding and fulfillment. So that's just our language for each of the 5 bottlenecks that happen inside of every single business. And we were a leads solving company. What we found, though, is that the leads continuously fell off the flat earth, as it were, because our clients didn't have any sort of systems to capture those leads. And this is before we became a agency that was also a back-end provider. This is really the inception of that, as we just got frustrated. There were other things at that time, of course, because if you may or may not remember, social media 10 years ago, although somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk would have been pounding his fist on the table since day one, a lot of the people that we talked to were like, Facebook, can't I hire a young person? I mean, like, my daughter's coming home from college next month. Can't she Facebook for me? And, there were a lot of people out there who didn't understand the impact that these tools are going to have on their business. But a decade later, we cannot ignore them. Right? These are essential pieces for lead generation for you. So our approach is fairly standard. And what we do is bring clients into a conversation We're going to use our coach avatar today, as Bernie suggested. And what I find with them is they're lacking several of these things that are required to solve a business bottleneck. One of the first things, and one of the biggest problems, is an offer. Now, we all are able to articulate how we do what we do. And some people can articulate what they do incredibly well. But what is often lacking is why it matters to the person listening. So we talk our clients through a process, and until they can say, I help X person get Y result in Z time, I would petition that you do not actually have an offer. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to, put that up on a stone wall or tattoo it onto your shoulder. It means what you have is something that you can present multiple times out into the market, which is something called testing. It's a conversational piece, but the idea behind an offer that has that much clarity and that much specificity is that it pierces through the noise. And let me remind you, it is a noisy space. Once you have a clear offer, you can start funneling traffic through the entire system that is out there, which is essentially they need to move off of social media and into your CRM. Because in the social media space, they own that list. It's not your CRM, it's Facebook CRM or LinkedIn CRM or whoever it is that you are in their domain. So one of my first jobs is to help you bring those interested individuals off of said space into yours. And now we can touch on the customer journey itself. Customer journey always does the same things. It takes somebody from they've never heard of you to they think they've heard of you to they are familiar with you to they do business with you. And moving people through those steps is something that we call the trust bridge, because they have to know you, like you, and trust you to take each of those steps to move from step 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. There's a psychological transfer of trust. So being able to articulate your offer, being able to show up consistently as that person who stands behind that offer, that's part of your brand. And then being able to deliver that offer is your business. Now, this maps very cleanly and clearly over top of content as well. Because with that know, like, and trust, those 3 verticals, it gives the opportunity to focus on brand content so that people get to know you, teach them to think content so that people learn to like you. And then you can put out offer content, which is where that transaction takes place. Now, the first transaction is almost always, and in my opinion, it should be, a transaction of time, right? Hey, why don't we move off the social media space and have a quick conversation about this? You mentioned you have problem Y, and I'm the kind of person who can solve it for you. Right? Because you help X person get Y result in Z time. And so if they're out there looking at Y result, and they're like, I'd like to get Y result, but I don't know how to achieve that. And there's a customer journey opportunity in today's presentation already. Right? I'm sorry, I didn't grab everybody's name, but Lana, you mentioned something about getting your financial house in order, right? So there's some teach them to think content that you could put out. And you can partner with Eric on it, right? Because you need to sort your stuff out financially. And here's an expert who can give you those 20 to 30 minutes of conversation, help you articulate where you are with your mortgage, what you need to do with your mortgage, and the kind of steps you need to take before you've actually entered the sales process, so that you're essentially not a pain in the ass for someone like Lana to work with. Right? So understanding all of this stuff inside of your business is a key component for your business itself, but it actually becomes a fundamental part of the operating system when you have a collaborative community like this. Because if you can't articulate your customer journey, how can somebody who wants to partner with you understand where and how they fit? So that being the case, what I do with this coach avatar is in my customer journey, anyone who books a call with me, I will sit down and show you where you are leaking money. I generate a business plan that proves somewhere between $100,000 and $300,000 of revenue and where it is being lost inside of your business. Now, for some people, there are certain areas of revenue that are complete blind spots that you have not monetized at all. For other areas, there are people who are selling an item, but they don't understand that inside of their own business, there's the thing before that item and after that item that's purchased. And then in the networking space or business growth itself, that is a classic tool anyway, right? I have a product or a service. Who's buying what exactly before they're utilizing me? Who's buying what exactly after they're utilizing? I mean, I built my first business this way to the point that I had a 3-month waiting list for the last 3 years just by knowing those pieces. So once you understand your customer journey, you can come to somebody like me who will help you automate it, right? And I spend a lot of time really digging in and getting to know what the customer journey is and how it works. But the automation side of things is very simple because there is technology that will do marvelous things for you if you can clearly articulate what you need done, right? And that's why I gave my rant a little bit earlier about some of the challenges I see in the software space and inside of that industry. The CEO of Thinkific verbalized this very well. He exited a while back, left for I forget how many millions of dollars. But during his speech, he's like, I just want to apologize to the, I think it was close to 20% of our subscribers that never actually launched a course. Right? And this is out there everywhere. There's so many different platforms that people are just leaking revenue into, and they aren't actually utilizing it because most of the sales processes for these things is like a magic bean scenario, right? You just get this software and it'll do this stuff for you. I'm like, yes, if you understand how it works, if you know how to get in there, if you're not overwhelmed by the user interface, if you can tell it what to do because you know your customer journey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the thing with us is that we are an agency, and High Level is a fantastic tool, but an absolute recipe for disaster if you're not a tech person. It's really that simple. When I got hired as the fractional CMO of an organization, right, a networking group recently, one of the first things I did was I went in and I interviewed every single user that I could get in contact with to find out how they were using the platform, because they'd been given this kind of barn door version of it. It's like, go in and it's amazing and it does cool stuff for you and figure it all out for yourself. This fellow had been working on a landing page for 3 months. Okay, now that's a place where your name, email, phone number go in. And from an automation, putting that form together is the click of one button. Putting it up into a template is a click of a second button. And branding it to your company is about a 30-minute activity. So the idea that somebody was suffering for a want of something for 3 months is a clear demonstration, right, of exactly why these things shouldn't be put into the user's hands. So my job was to onboard and generate a done for version. And this is where software is now. It's not where it's going. It's arrived here and why it's incredibly valuable. For example, this proverbial coach that we're talking about. I've had this 30-minute conversation. I'm like, look, here's the business plan at capacity, like home runs all the way in a fantasy level. It's $300,000 a year. And it fails at 6 figures, right? This business gets 33% on its final exam, which didn't pass anything in school for me, but it still breaks 6 figures, right? That's over-engineering and failure rate. From there, they have 3 choices in my customer journey. One of them is to onboard into the space where I do all of that for you, period. Right now, obviously that level is got a higher level of expense. There's higher labor, there's my acumen, there's my team doing end and stuff, but I make it a fair trade because the guarantee at that level of bill is that your company will generate those 6 figures in revenue, or you go missing, right? Like you get abducted by aliens or ninjas take you in the night. But other than that, there's no way of escaping that revenue goal because I will work with you until you establish it. Now, somebody who wants to get a clearer picture about that because they're not ready to buy in takes the first stage. You can take a bite of that pie by doing a single 90-minute consult. And that is a paid product. You will get the plan to get there. And you can walk away with it, hire somebody else to do it, put it under your pillow, choose to work with me. It doesn't matter, right? So I've productized that. This is something that all of you can do inside of your businesses. The thing about that is, especially for the more analytical types, they know exactly how they're going to get there. And inside of my business, that's a deposit on the full bill. I'm not going to charge you more to build it. I have to do this first meeting every single time. Now, down beneath that, there are people who just can't afford it. And we have a pay it forward model or a growth and scaling model. And so the step down from that console is the software itself. Why? Because ours isn't an open barn. It is a pre-built 6-figure business in a box. And after you go through the cart on the sales page, there's a form and you put in your business name and your phone number and all of that stuff. And thanks to software, thanks to something called custom values, it populates throughout the platform. Every place where your company name should be, if you clearly typed it in the box, then it's there on every page, on every site, at the bottom of every email, right? And this is the value of that technology, but you have to know how it works in order to use it. So that's really what we call a snapshot. And if you work with anybody in the high-level space, you want to hear that word snapshot a lot, and you want to hear that word automation. And one of the things to watch for is custom build, because there are snapshots out there, and there's very little reason, unless you were reinventing the business wheel, for somebody to be like, oh, this is going to be an extremely high labor custom build where I have to do a whole bunch of stuff that's never been heard of before inside your backend. Our platform has a 15, 30, and 60-minute calendar pre-built. Why? You don't need anything else than that. All you need to do is plug your Google Calendar in, and you're done. There are pre-built screening questions. Coaching one has coaching questions, right? The podcast snapshot has podcast questions, right? All these things are pre-built so that they can be deployed. And so this is really the level of thinking about how this stuff works and why the customer journey dictates the platform build, right? If you are somebody who helps people launch podcasts and you're giving them the coaching snapshot, it's going to suck for your customers. It's going to confuse them, right? And so understanding these pieces of being able to put the right thing in the right place at the right time, or making sure that you have those things, is essentially what we do and how we work. In the case of the coaching snapshot, the high-level statistics on a database reactivation are 5 to 10%. What that means is for every 100 contacts you upload, when you run a database reactivation, you get 5 to 10 responses, booked calls. Now, remember I said this is for people who couldn't afford to have the build done for them, right? So I have this conversation. How many contacts do you have on your list? They're like, oh, I've got 748. Great. What we're going to do is onboard you into a 14-day free trial. We're going to run a database reactivation because it's already built. You have to tweak a couple letters here and there, change one sentence, push a button, and boom, you're getting booked calls out of your list because most people entirely suck at follow-up, right? And so you're pulling booked calls out of your list. You book those calls, you do your sales, you generate revenue. Your first software subscription hasn't even been paid yet, and you're cash positive and working. For people who really don't have the business acumen and are lacking some of the essential skills, there is a service below that as well. right? And that's a weekly training that I do, which is called the 100K Club, will help you get your business acumen in order, put your offer in place, build your social media profiles out as a funnel, do all the stuff that the done for side is. But again, you can work your stages through it one at a time. Now, it doesn't matter where somebody enters inside of my customer journey or inside of my ascension model, because each step is designed to take you to the next step with success. And that's the thing I'd like you thinking about in the Q&A sections, because I have to tell you about something so it's tangible. But the questions you should be asking are, that's cool, but how would it work for my business? Right? And I'm going to respond immediately to the question, which is, what's the customer journey process? Right? As a realtor, if somebody booking an appointment with you, what are the 5-10 questions that you'd like answered before that call? Right? During the call, if they're like, I want to sell or I want to buy, what's the button you want to push so that they get 3 emails saying, please fill out these forms so we can move forward? Right? What are all the places inside of your business that you can take labor off of your plate where you're doing repetitive tasks, especially? And then from there, delegatable tasks. And then we get into the higher level stuff around technology. Since September last year, I've got a friend who's his colleague. Sorry, he's a colleague of mine. His wife is a realtor, and she replaced her admin assistant with an AI booking bot. This thing is sitting inside of her high-level account, has conversations incoming through text, and it responds to them. And anybody who's qualified actually wants to sell gets moved into the calendar. Anybody who's qualified and actually wants to buy is into the calendar. Right? You can use AI for stuff like this already. It's not super articulate, but it can ask specific questions, right? Are you looking to sell, or are you just looking to get to know a realtor? Okay, great. Now that I know that, I'm still going to book you in. Thanks for that information, right? It can make discretion and discernment like that. Oh, you're not actually looking to sell or buy? That's okay. We have a 15-minute calendar spot for you to just get to know Lana. Like, you can set these things up and have them run and train it to do that stuff. And this is a staff member that never sleeps, never gets sick, etc. But more importantly, you can have the kind of conversations I've had with my own staff. AI is going to replace this part of your job. I'm going to train you to use it. And then you can focus on these other parts of your job where you're paid, where you're a much more valuable team member. So I just wanted to touch on that as well, because we're doing a lot with AI now. I ran a 3-day training last week on how to use AI to assist yourself in your sales. But all of those things are just like the software. Garbage in at the beginning makes garbage out at the end. And so you have to, again, be able to clearly articulate your wants and needs so that you can get the technology to do that stuff for you. So that's going to be kind of the main pause here for Q&A. And yeah, is there anything I can do to help you guys clarify stuff? I know it was a lot, it's a bit of a fire hose in some ways, but I'm here to be of service.
Any questions?
Yeah, because you brought my business up a couple of times. I know another realtor who's using AI to answer some emails. And I have to admit, I wasn't impressed, because I was trying to talk to this AI thing and tell them, no, I'm another realtor and I wanted to see how your system worked. And so I was trying to, and then I realized, wait a minute, I'm talking to a machine, and the machine and I weren't connecting, and it wouldn't turn me off because I wasn't answering the questions the way he was, or the way the machine was programmed to, right?
Yep.
So how do you get around that?
First off, I wouldn't be having it run email. I'd be having it run text messages. Like I said, a setting and booking bot is a super simple process.
Yeah.
So you let it do that. But putting it into email and being like, be conversationally skilled and a problem solver, don't do that. That's the line I created earlier, and thank you for the example. It's just not ready to.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. And I would and because I'm such a touchy-feely, emotional type person, I don't see how would a machine be able to connect with a client?
So
I'm not
here's the thing.
okay.
Okay.
Talk to me, Goose.
Yeah. What you're doing is putting a little bit of tunnel vision in here.
Yes.
All right. So its job, we have a tool. Okay. Let's talk about the customer journey. The tool is called a missed call text back. So you have this CRM because you care about your clients, because you're a touchy-feely person and you give a damn.
Yeah.
And you're not picking up the phone right now. You're on a meeting.
Yeah.
So when they call you, the machine immediately goes, "Hey, name, I'm sorry I missed your call. How can I help?" That's called a missed call text back. It's an automation built into this platform.
Right.
Okay, you're using that because you care, not using it because you care. So let's step over that first hurdle. Then they text back and the AI bot goes, "Got it. So are you saying you'd like to talk to Lana about selling your house?" They say yes. It says, "Great. Would you like to book a time in her calendar to do that?" They say yes. It says, "Great." Inside, behind the curtain, it's actually moving from the setting to booking. Then it passes internally, customer doesn't know this, to the calendar bot. Same text message, same tone of voice, but now it's in calendar mode. Two different individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's like, "I'm here to make sure you get a time that works. Here are two that I have. Do you prefer? Great, that's the one. Can I ask you these 3 questions?" And it fills out your booking form the same way we all have to when we're in somebody else's Calendly or other booking app. And then without any labor of your own, that missed call has been turned into an appointment where you can show up and do your touchy-feely thing.
Right.
We're not replacing you. We're streamlining the process so that they can get in front of you. That's
I
what
got
this
it.
stuff is for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
you're welcome. And it's trainable. So you feed in your tone of voice and it mimics it.
Well, that's good because I'm not trainable anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, but just words that you use will become common.
I think the key elements here, the snapshot, it's not a term that most of us are going to be familiar with. What that means is if you are a lawyer, a podcaster, a coach, a realtor, there's a snapshot for each different industry. So it plugs in and then it gets tweaked, and that makes it flow faster because there's a lot of stuff behind in Go High Level. There is a calendar booking piece. There's the missed call text back piece. There's a few other features like even doing email blasts. It can do, you can shape how you want your email communications to go out. Like, there's some people, they're not going to be interested in certain products or certain services post contact. That's fine. Or better yet, from a realtor point of view, if you want to do a touch point coming back and you just want to send out a ping saying, "Hey, how's it going?" Or it reminds you to phone them up, depending on how do you want to shape that. The other elements.
The best practices in this scenario, just so everybody has something to walk home from with a mental template of how you should be interacting with your list. First week of the month, send out a database reactivation. Like reactivate your list. You're like, "Hey, how's it going? I just wanted to let you know I'm always here and available." Right? Now, niche down, specialize, etc. But you have people on your list who have forgotten about you and are still looking for your services. Period. You're leaking money this way. Third week of the month, put out some value content. "I just did this. I just accomplished that. While doing my normal job, I learned something about something else," right? A valuable tangent. There's all sorts of stuff out there that matters. But that first and third week thing, cyclically. First week is a text. Second or third week is a text. But the value content, you now have something to create and look forward to and include email space, which should be your newsletter. right? You should be sending out 12 emails a year, mandatory minimum, just a little update. How's it going? This is what I'm up to. And if you follow that map, some brand content, some teach them to think content, which I call value content over here, and some offer content, right? And Dan Kennedy, the great grandfather of marketing, is like, there will always be an offer. Everything you do must have an offer in it, because if you don't offer, people won't remember, ask you for things. But those are just some kind of best practices right there, touching what Bernie said, like minimum once a month email and twice a month text.
Are there any other questions? So the other piece of it, if Jacob was talking about another network group, that's the World Referral Network. And so East Trade Wins, but World Referral Network, where the benefit comes in, they have a membership side which is cheaper than the Go High Level face value side. It's something to explore, and it's the for WRN for $60 a month versus just getting Go High Level for $99 US a month, right?
Well,
there's
a big thing that I need to clean up here, though.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So the World Referral Network has a ton of benefits that you get with your $60 a month, but thinking that it's everything you need in the world of high level for $60 a month is the opposite of what I want you thinking. It is only what you need. You've been locked out of 90% of the things that the platform does, and all you have access to are the contacts and the conversations, because you should be working with your list. Now, we put in some automations for you to make that stuff easier. Get a website chat widget to pull contacts off your website into your CRM. You get your missed call text back so that you don't miss customers by missing calls. That keeps your CRM more active. And then you get the Google Business automation, because Google gives you 30% of your SEO for free for being active on Google Business. And over 80% of the people Google surveyed said they trusted a positive review the same as a referral from a friend. A lower number of people who were studied also said that a terrible review responded to well built a lot of trust for them. I don't remember the exact number, but everybody knows other people can have bad days and then will freely go out and rant somewhere. And it's not necessarily the quality of the rant, but the response. That's the $60 a month thing. There's a higher level package, which we added on some stuff, a done for you follow-up template, a booking calendar for calls, a networking automation, which means I meet Sam at this event, I feed him into my CRM and I push a button and Sam gets 6 emails of like, hey, Sam, loved meeting you at the Phoenix Business Exchange. I'd love to have a chat. If you click through below, book a call on my calendar, we can talk, right? And those emails go through a know, like, and trust sequence, a bit about me, a bit about my business, a bit about what I love to do on the side, a bit about, so all that stuff can be triggered with a button and it takes a few minutes to set up. So there are some kind of higher end add-ons inside of it, but really those first 2 levels are designed to just help people network better. And they're not there to run your entire business from. We have a larger scale version called the Business Accelerator and the Alliance Accelerator. But instead of a single onboarding form, you're looking at 7. Okay, so you can think about the size of the project there. But if you want to just get your fingers into a CRM and learn how to use it, that is exactly what those 2 lower level memberships are for and why we created them. Just to get people doing follow-up, which is where you're losing most of your revenue.
Jacob, thank you so much. Terry Fraser, welcome. Good to see you, even if it's just your. There you are. He's alive.
I am alive.
Terry, just do a quick intro as to what you do, and so everybody understands and knows.
Well, I work for Sun Life, and I've been with Sun Life now going on 17 years. Right now, I've got construction going on in my house because my kitchen's getting redone, so it's a little noisy, and I'm in and out, so that's why I kind of joined a little late, so I apologize for that. But just wanted to say hello to everyone, and nice to see some new faces. Sam, Eric, good to see you guys. Lana, nice to meet you as well. and yeah, so I work in the Ottawa area. Obviously, with Zoom, I do a lot more outside of the Ottawa area. No one wants to meet anymore. Everyone wants to just do Zoom calls. So that's the unfortunate part. But like you, Lana, I like to be in front of people, and I'm more of a people person. So it's a new world that we kind of live in right now, I guess. So, anyways, nice to meet you guys.
Thanks, Terry. And I'm going to close off with a quote for the day. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. And that's from Robert Collier. And just posted that in the chat. And folks, that's it. That's a wrap. I'm going to stop recording and take